Jörgelt kívánok, hogy vagy, jó? Start, start of another day. And, hmm, boy, that's good. I can just hear, I think it was Kathy, wasn't it Kathy, who said, oh, we want the real Tom back. Yeah, we want the real Tom. Oh, goodness gracious. And I don't know if that's what you'll find this morning, but I'm on the road again, alone, solo, and Rosanna is as I speak. I think that Rosanna is probably sitting at Boston Logan Airport, getting ready to catch a flight back to Naples, Florida. And boy, what a gem she is, Rosanna. If you're watching this video, if you watch this video, what a gem you are. You know, what a gem, what a gem of a lady you are. And I mean that with all the sincerity in my heart. You know, it's not often that you find somebody. I have this tendency. I have this tendency in life, like maybe some of you do as well. You know, you meet somebody and you want to just pick them apart. You know, and this is wrong with them, and that's wrong with them, and they could use a little improvement with this or a little improvement with that. And I gotta say that all in all, bless her heart, Rosanna is she's a lady with a capital L. She really is. There's nothing like I told her the other day. I said, Rosanna, I said, given the chance, I don't think there's one thing about you that I would change. I don't think there's one thing about you that I would change. And hmm, she smiled as you might expect she would, and we went on with our day. And it was later that night. It was later that night when she was lying in bed, and I was walking about the room, and I looked at her, and I said, what's interesting? And she said, what's that? I said, what I told you earlier today, I meant with all the sincerity in my heart, in that, given a chance, there's not a thing about you I would change. And I said, I wonder if you could say the same about me. I wonder if you, lying there in that bed, could say the same about me, that given the chance to change anything about me, would you accept me for just the person I am? Or would you want to change this or want to change that? And goodness gracious, she just kind of smiled, and probably the first thing that went through her mind was to cut out the bacon. If she could change something about me, it would be to get rid of my habit of having a couple slices of bacon in the morning. That's it. And I don't know. I don't know what else, if anything, that she would change about me. But no shit. There's probably a. Did I just swear? I did. Okay, mark your calendar, because it's not very often that you're going to hear me cuss on my YouTube channel. But given a chance to change stuff about myself, there's a lot that I would change about myself. Interestingly enough. But anyway, you go through life, and so many times you want to change people. You want to change people to make them fit what you want, or to make them fit into what you want them to be, or something along those lines. And I admit I used to be guilty of that. But now it's just kind of live and let live. If I meet somebody in a romantic sense, that person's either going to be, either going to be the person that I want, or not going to be the person that I want to meet. And I've come to realize that nobody is going to meet all of my all of my hopes and desires and expectations. Nobody's perfect, and you just you go through, and you just, hopefully hopefully the scale, if you will, tips in the right direction as far as qualities and characteristics and traits and habits and all that kind of stuff. But hmm. But anyway, that is that was on my mind. And uh, I gotta tell you, you know what? I sat in this very seat. I sat in this very seat probably, oh, I don't know how long ago it was, about 9 days ago, worried about Rosanna having a good time. And I really wanted her to have a good time. I really wanted to make sure that, you know, to go into a situation such as I did with Rosanna this past week and a half or whatever it was, and to hope and expect that she's going to have the time of her life. That's a little bit of a stretch, but to go into the week and hope and hope and that she's going to have a trip and a memory, that she'll cherish and remember for the rest of her life. That's really what I wanted. That's really what I wanted. And I woke up this morning and was driving her to the airport, and I found myself thinking about that. That's what I did. I got her. We sat down to breakfast this morning, and I said, "Did I take good care of you? You know, did you always have something to eat? Were you always warm? Were you always, did you always feel safe? You know, all that type of stuff." And that was all important to me. It really was. It really was important to me. But I'll share a moment with you every now and then. Every now and then I'll be going about my day or sitting, doing work or doing whatever, and a little thought will pop into my mind, just out of the blue. A little thought will pop into my mind. And today Rosanna and I woke up at 6 a.m. and I was going about outside getting the camper and the truck all ready to pull out and take her to the airport. And I was putting up the lawn chairs. I was putting up the lawn chairs. And Angela, you'll probably be happy to know, because I know, Angela, you worry about this a lot. We were going to watch the movie outside last night, When Harry Met Sally. But then, as I started to think about it, I thought, there might be mosquitoes out there. And why risk it? It's a nice romantic thought to sit out there in the little lawn chairs, each cuddled up in a sleeping bag, watching a movie outside under the stars. But then I thought, alternatively, we could cuddle. We could cuddle in the bed and watch the When Harry Met Sally. And that's what we ended up doing. But what a delightful movie! What a really, really delightful movie that was. And Rosanna had never seen it before. Rosanna had never seen When Harry Met Sally, and I think she really appreciated it. But anyway, so the thought that I had this morning was, I was going about and I was putting everything away from getting ready to pull out of the place that we stayed. And I walked to the one side of the camper, and I was unplugging the power cord. And as I was unplugging the power cord, I was doing so right under the window of of the rear of the camper, where we slept last night. And I found myself thinking how nice it was. How nice it was traveling with somebody, somebody that you liked, somebody that you wouldn't want to change anything about. How nice it was traveling with somebody, and sharing those experiences with somebody, as opposed to just traveling alone. Traveling alone. And I found myself thinking about, the road ahead, and where, my lifestyle and traveling as I do, and the footloose and fancy free and all that kind of stuff. And I found myself, just for a brief moment there in the morning darkness, I found myself thinking ahead myself lying in a lying in a convalescent home, or lying in a VA hospital, or just lying somewhere in a dark room, in the winter of my life, just lying there in the winter of my life, no longer with the ability to travel and to travel and no longer even maybe even to wipe myself. And I found myself thinking, at that point in time in my life, what's going to matter most? What's going to matter most is as I lie there in bed, if I lie there in bed and I'm looking up at a ceiling, looking up at the ceiling, uh, in the dark, and watching some type of a blinking light or something like that. Am I going to be sitting there thinking, if I find myself in a situation where I'm alone, am I going to find myself sitting there thinking, well, at least I traveled the world. I mean, boy, just think of all the places I went, you know, think of all the things I did. Is that really going to matter at that point in time in my life? Or would having somebody there with me, having some nurturing hands and loving hands, and somebody there, to take care of me and to spend my last days on earth, is that what would matter most? So it's just kind of an interesting thought. I shared something with Rosanna the other day. I told her, I said, you know what, we were talking about me shaving. I like to shave every day. I don't like I don't like rough. Every day I like to shave. And uh and I told Rosanna, I said, boy, what frightens me? And she said, what's that? And I said, the thought of growing old and lying in a nursing home or something somewhere where the people taking care of me could give a rat's ass about me, or what have you, and just lying there with an unshaven face, not being able to communicate to them, not being able to communicate to them at all. Please shave me, give me a shave. I'm dying for a shave. And I used to do that to my dad. I used to do that to my dad when my dad was sitting in the hospital, and he was, lying in the hospital bed. I would go in there and, boy, I would just be really meticulous about it, giving my dad a shave. I'd soak that towel in hot water, and I'd soak his face, as he lied there in bed, and I would just very, very slowly, shave my dad and make sure that I got every little stubble, and that his face was smooth as a baby's bottom. And I did that because I know that I'd want somebody doing that, for me, if I were lying there in bed such as he was. But anyway, so those are some of the thoughts. And Kathy, I hope this is the real Tom. Okay, I hope this is the real deal. Back for you. Just sharing sharing my thoughts. Oh, goodness gracious. Roseanne and I were walking around Boston yesterday, and I was trying to encourage her. Bless her heart, she wants to be a vlogger. She really does. And she's still a little bit camera shy. She's still a little bit conscientious about what people are going to say or what people are going to think if she's standing there in a park, being all animated like this, and people watching her and stuff. She's still not able quite to leave that comfort zone. And but she wants to. I know that she wants to. I know she wants to do that, but maybe in due time, in due time, and in her due time, that she will do that. But anyway, so I found myself this morning. I couldn't even tell you where I'm at. I just I woke up this morning, and I dropped her off at the airport, and into my phone I typed in Newport, Rhode Island. That's it, Newport, Rhode Island. It was an hour and 20 minutes. And then I hit the search along the route, and I typed in Starbucks, and I made it to the Starbucks. And then once I got my coffee, I went back to Google, and I said laundromat near me. And lo and behold, 1.3 miles up the road was a laundromat. And that's where I find myself this morning at a laundromat. Hmm. In a parking lot in front of a Dollar General store where people were lined up this morning. Sunday morning, there must have been 20 people lined up outside the dollar store here. And, you go into the laundromat, and laundromats are always an interesting place to people watch. And more times than not, and unfortunately so, you walk into a laundromat and there are people in there that are just a little bit less fortunate than a lot of other people. If you have to go to a laundromat to do your laundry, usually means you don't have a washer or dryer at home. And so anyway, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself that, what a contrast it is, to start my morning in a parking lot outside of a Dollar General where 20 people are lined up and doing laundry in a laundromat, and then getting in my car and in about an hour being to a place like Newport where I hear that there's just nothing but mansions, just nothing but mansions and yachts and all that type of stuff. What a contrast that is. And I was driving along. And don't for a second, think that I don't realize and appreciate how fortunate I am. I was driving down the road today with Rosanna, and I'm looking in the back rear at my camper, and I told her, I said, "Boy," I said, "I love that camper." I said, "I love that camper. I love the freedom that it gives me." I said, "Look at this road. I can go anywhere. I've got my bed, my kitchen, my shower, my toilet, all on the back hitch of this trailer, and I could just go anywhere with it." And I lost my train of thought. But anyway, it's just nice. It's very, very nice. I know what I was going to say. You know, a lot of times people will say, "Come on, Tom, just live a little. Learn to live a little. Okay, you got to live a little. Enjoy life, live a little." And I found myself, as I was folding up my laundry today, I found myself thinking of a moment yesterday in Boston. We were down by Quincy Market, and we had just had lunch. We had just had a nice lunch there at Quincy Market. And as we were walking along, Rosanna, knowing that I like ice cream, she saw a Ben& Jerry's ice cream place. And we walk in, she says, "Let me treat you to some. Let me treat you to some ice cream. You want some ice cream? Come on, I'll give you some ice cream." And so we walk in there, and I'm looking, and I say, "Okay, I'll have that flavor, and let me get one of those sprinkly cones, just a single scoop." And we walk in there, and as the guy is getting ready to serve up my peanut butter swirl chocolate chunky, whatever the heck it was, I looked up at the thing, and I thought to I look, and it said one scoop, $5.50 or $6.50 or something like that. One scoop, something like $6, $7, something like that. And I said, I said, one scoop is six something? And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "How much is the cone?" "Oh, that's $1.50. I said, $8.50 or $8? $8 for a single scoop? You're kidding me." And he said, "No, that's the price." And I looked at Rosanna, and I said, "Rosanna, I don't want any ice cream." I said, I thank you. I said, "I don't want any ice cream." She said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's the thought that counts. I don't want you spending $8 on a single scoop of ice cream for me." I said, "I can stop later and for $1.50 get an ice cream sandwich at the gas station." I said, "Don't be spending $8 for a frickin' single scoop of ice cream." And there's people out there that would say, "Gee, Tom, you gotta live a little. You gotta live a little. Enjoy life. Spend $8 on a single scoop or let your girlfriend spend $8 on a single scoop of single scoop of ice cream. And I thought, no, I can't do that. It's the principle. It's the principle. And you know what? There's that saying that I say that, by saving pennies, dollars will follow. But, a lot of people go through life and they just spend their money carelessly. Just carelessly. They don't really think about it a lot. They don't have a budget. They'll go into a Starbucks every day and spend $4 a day, without even blinking about it, which is, $120, $1,500 a month or a year to have coffee, to have a cup of coffee every day or something like that. But those people that have the propensity or tendency to say, live a little, you know, those are the people that probably are living a little. The people that are a little bit more cost conscious are the people that are living a lot. And I think driving down the road with a beautiful camper behind you and looking at that road and thinking, where do I want to go next? I think that's living a lot, not living a little. And, at the end of the day, I think that is also one of the things that matters the most. So anyway, I need to get off my soapbox. So I'm going into Connecticut. I'm going into Rhode Island. I'm going into Connecticut. And, I know that there's two people in that area. There is Angela. Angela, you've been following me for years, with my dad and everything. I think you've even sent us stuff. I don't know where you are in Connecticut, but like I was telling Rosanna, if you're along the way, and boy, I wouldn't hesitate to come and see you and come and meet you in person. And Oksana also, I think that you're somewhere along the way. You're somewhere, through the Rhode Island, Connecticut area. It sure would be nice to sit and, off camera, of course. It'd be nice to sit and have a chat and a cup of coffee with you. But anyway, so now it's I gotta go put my clothes in the dryer. I gotta go put my clothes in the dryer, and I'm gonna find my way down to Newport. And I think I'm gonna, like I told Roseanne, I'm gonna park my truck and camper, and I'm gonna get on my bike, and I'm gonna take a bike ride around through the mansions. I think that'll be a nice way to spend a Sunday afternoon. And then I'm headed over towards, I think it's West Haven, Connecticut or something. Somebody told me there's good pizza over there in New Haven or something like that there's this pizza place over there that is one of the best in the world. And we will see, as the saying goes. But anyway, I need to get on with my day and let you all get on with your day. And I've seen a lot of comments here. I don't know who's commenting. I don't have my glasses on. But Joanna, let's see. Who do we have here? Is Rosanna the one? Wouldn't you like to know, Juanita? Huh? This past week went so fast with Rosanna and you. It will be an adjustment for you now as you travel solo again. Did you propose? Juanita, just come on. Juanita, please. Thank you, John. Thanks, Tom. I enjoy your thoughts. If you're not living, no one is living. That was a ripoff. I agree. Stop yelling, Juanita. Okay, getting the ripoff is being a fool. You're right, Tom. Happy Sunday. All right, so, well, I've got 22 people watching me right now. Isn't that something? Skip Smith, when Skip Smith goes live, he's got like 800. And he never lets me live it down, that I've got 14,000 subscribers. And when I go live, aside from having chocolate on my fingers, and yes, I washed my hands, okay? That's another thing that Rosanna, she's always telling me what to do. I brush my teeth, and she'll say, rinse your mouth after you brush your teeth, and just all this type of stuff, just what is it with women always wanting to change men? I just can't, I can't quite figure that out. I mean, it's like, oh, goodness gracious, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. If anybody's out there and has any suggestions, okay, any suggestions at all about, about Connecticut, Rhode Island, or what have you, I'm going to put my email address down in the description there. You can shoot me an email or what have you. But Oksana, I know you said you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Okay, but I will put my email down in the comments. And not sure what time it is right now. Let's see if Rosanna's on her plane. No, she's probably sitting. Rosanna's probably sitting on the. This was way too much for ice cream. Things cost way too much down past. Yeah, I know they do. You know, $8 for a scoop of ice cream. Wait till I go down to the land of Oz. You know, with in Fitzroy. You know, this winter or this summer, I guess, down in Australia. I'm going to go for ice cream with Oz at this nice little place down in Fitzroy in Melbourne, and there it's worth every penny, that ice cream. But anyway, everybody have a great day. Take good care. You know, if there's one good thing about Rosanna leaving today, if I could find just one good thing about Rosanna leaving today, I got my closet space back. I do. I've got my closet and my drawer back. I've been living out of the truck. You know, every time I want to change my clothes and everything, I had to go to the frickin' truck, you know, to get a new pair of socks or to get a shirt to wear or whatever. All my stuff was in the truck. And Rosanna had the closet. Rosanna had the drawer, you know, here. And so if there's anything good about her leaving, it's the fact that I've got my closet space back. So anyway, have a great day, everybody. I love you all, as my dad would say. Take good care.